Have you wondered how other artists and makers are marketing their creative business? Or maybe wondered how they feel about Instagram and TikTok and all of the different platforms and the strategies that they are using to brand their own passion? Well, if you do, then you are in luck, because I recorded a live in-person podcast episode with two incredible artists and creatives. We have Raccoon and Emma Smith, also known as Steer Illustrations, and I am so excited to share that conversation with you today. We had an incredible panel discussion where I talked to them and asked them a bunch of questions about how they market their business as creatives, and then also answered a bunch of questions from people who were in the audience on the night. So if you want to hear from them and you want to know how are successful professional creatives marketing their creative business right now, then you want to tune into this one. Let's dive in. Thank you so much for coming. I am so excited for us to be here. We are here to talk about makers on marketing with our wonderful speakers here. We have Emma and Pippa. Before we dive in, I just want to talk to you a little bit about why we are here and why I created this event. I'm not just going to tell you all about me. We're going to dive into these, but I just want to tell you a little bit about what inspired this event. So I am a creative. I am an artist myself. Started my business as a hand lettering and typography studio, and I will one day get back to doing that. But then I started creating, and I'm also a business owner. And there are a couple of things that have helped me in my business to do all of these things, continue to evolve into all of these things. And those two things have been branding and marketing my business, and also community. So community has been a huge part of my business and my growth. I'm also just a huge, I just love creating community and bringing people together in community. So I used to be the Wellington host of Design Assembly, if anybody of you have ever been to one of their events. I used to host workshops and bring people together to learn things. And I also now have a podcast called Brand Your Passion, where I bring people together to learn from my community of creatives about how they brand their passion, and then a community of people who listen to that podcast who learn about branding their passion as well. So if I've said community enough, it's because community is important. And when I talked to artists and makers and creatives over the last 4 months about what they wanted and what they needed help with, I thought I'd get loads of branding questions and marketing questions, which I did, but a lot of them were about, I want to grow and challenge myself. I want to be surrounded by other creatives with similar values. I want to be brave and take some courageous steps again. I want to turn my hobby into something more than what it is. I want to collaborate with other creatives, and I want to find a community and build relationships. Maybe some of those things sound familiar to you. And so when I was thinking about how to help more creatives in their brands and their businesses, this is what I thought I should make. And so the part of the reason we're here today is to celebrate the fact that I have launched a community for artists and creatives. It's a membership called the Brand Your Passion Collective, and there are a bunch of things that you get as part of that, but I think the main thing is that 24/7 creative community. So I'm just excited to tell you all about that and to invite you, if you want to check it out and you want a community outside of this room, then please come and check it out. You can come and talk to me. I would love to welcome you in and have you as part of an online community so that we can keep this going after today. But that's it from me. We're going to dive into the questions, and while we are talking, if you have any questions, you can scan this QR code and put in your question, and then I'll read them at the end. But also, by asking questions, you're going to go in the draw to win some prizes. So I'm going to give away a year's worth of the membership in the Brand Your Passion Collective. Pippa has given me a $50 voucher to her store, and Emma has got a bag full of prints here. So if you scan this QR code while we were talking, ask a question, then I will ask some at the end and we'll go through them. So that's the plan. Let's dive in. Let's talk to these incredible creatives. So let me introduce them both. Pepper, Raccoon, incredible person here, is an illustrator and artist and has done some incredible things for places like Zealandia and places that you probably have seen all around Wellington. Sells her own work and does also some incredible client work as well. So I'm excited to hear from Pepper Raccoon. And then we also have Emma here in the corner. Emma is also an artist and creates her own work, like these prints that you're going to get to see, but also is on the team at Ico.
Like
Thank
the song.
you. Thank you. I have never known how to say that properly. Ico, and does all, if you ever walk past there and see the window installations, that's Emma. Right? Yeah. So Emma does an incredible job of doing that and sharing the process behind all of that on social media, and has like a massive TikTok following now from doing that. So I can't wait to hear all about it. So I am excited to dive into those. Let's set up with some questions. So let me dive in with the first question. I would love to know straight off the bat, what do you think is the most successful way that you have connected with your potential customers, clients, and built your kind of following from there?
I found over the last year, I just went ham on markets, and that was the one way that I found was really successful in meeting people, getting instant feedback on if they liked the prints or if they wanted to buy it, or it was that, yeah, you get to chat with them and figure out what they like in a home or what they want on their walls and stuff. So it was that, that instant getting inspiration from them and what they want and trying to, it was really nice. It's a cool little community, and doing just back-to-back markets every weekend was a good way of meeting people and getting to know community and seeing what people like.
Yeah, I love that. I think, anytime you can talk to your audience is so good, right? To get their feedback and hear, like you said, what do they actually want? What are they going to put on the walls? And when they're buying things in front of you, it's pretty obvious what they're picking up or not picking up. So that's awesome. What about you, Pepper? What do you think has been the most successful way?
I think it's been being myself online. Going to markets is definitely good customer research, but I burned out on them really badly. Because I had way too many for like 5 years, and they're great, and I still do them, and they're fantastic, and I recommend them to everybody. But the most successful thing I ever did was being on Twitter and just being basically a shit poster on Twitter. Just being myself online has always been the best way to find the audience that most relates to the things that I make, so I don't have to make things that are so for other people. So I can make the things I'm passionate about and be connecting with an audience that's also passionate about those things. So I definitely think like platforms that let you be yourself, whatever you're like, find the platforms that make you feel the most comfortable being yourself and leverage those because they're good. Yeah.
One of my questions was to ask you about like, how do you decide what platforms to market your business on, what platforms to not worry about? Like, how do you make that decision and decide the platforms and also the content that you're going to create?
Okay. I have a very low tolerance for things I don't like. And so I'm on the platforms I can tolerate. And I think that's actually like a really healthy choice for me. And I think most people are somewhat similar, maybe not quite so like, passionate about it. But I don't particularly enjoy creating content. And so platforms where I can just be myself and post random thoughts and my art and my process tend to be the places that I do the best because I like being there. So I think like looking at the platforms that you use and which ones make you happy and which ones make you feel stressed or give you a sense of imposter syndrome or any of those kinds of things, maybe you focus a little bit less on those and more on the ones that make you feel at home. Like now I have a team that helps me do Instagram and Facebook because I'm not so passionate about them, but I recognize their importance. But I spend a lot of my time on Blue Sky, which is the Twitter replacement that's kind of suddenly became the biggest platform for that kind of thing. And that's been great for me. So my friends are there and I still feel like it's a place where I can sell things without feeling inauthentic. And that's really nice.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the pieces of advice that I always give people is if you want your marketing to be sustainable, you want it to be something that you enjoy doing. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out. You're not going to want to do it and then you're not going to post. So finding the platforms you enjoy and that you're good at. Like if you suck at video, maybe do like a newsletter or something that you can write.
Email newsletters slap.
Play
Highly
into your
recommend.
strengths.
Yeah,
for sure. How about you, Emma? What about?
Well, I'm just a one-man show. I just am still super new to social media, and I just upload whatever I want, and kind of just there's still that organic. Like I just when I have a project on, I'm just doing what I'm doing that hour. And yeah, I try not to think about it too much and just kind of, upload thoughts or just upload stupid memes or me cleaning something. It's very, it's very just back and forth of my own life and what I enjoy doing. It's not so, I haven't thought so much about researching the side of, when I'm going to post and when is a good, I think the most I've done is like, 7 o'clock seems like a good time to do it, or like, Googling when, the best time to upload on Instagram. But it really is, it's so luck of the draw. And like, I'll try and make a video go viral, and sometimes I'll like upload it twice and I'm like, okay, great, we're not doing that again. Like, well, okay, let's choose a better song. Yeah. So it's just, it is really luck of the draw to do that viral. I mean, yes, you need a good video to do it, which is, I find making videos really fun and rewarding, but
opposites.
It definitely comes with the I think filming, you chuck a camera down and then just do your work. It's kind of, and then spend 3 hours editing a video. I mean,
that's the problem.
It's really hard. But I've learned to love it because it is. I love seeing people's reaction and feedback to it. But yeah, it's. I find, I'm a lot more organic. I wish I was more organized.
It's working for you.
I mean,
it is.
I probably could do better.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, though, is like a lot of people think, I could be doing this a lot more structured. I could have more of a system. But if the way you're doing it now is working for you, there's no need to don't fuck with that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you both have mentioned sharing what you feel like you want to share and feeling like finding a place where you can be yourself. How long did it sort of take you to get to a point where you felt comfortable doing that? Because I feel like a lot of people posting on social media, it's like, I need to be posting this, I need to be doing this trend, I need to be doing that, whatever. So how long did it take you to kind of realize or figure out, or have you figured out that being yourself and just posting what you feel like? Tell me about that kind of journey.
It took me a very, very long time to feel confident in posting just even the window displays that I was doing, which I found I didn't see them as my creations or my work, because I was obviously just at work, just doing my job, putting products in a window, finding a creative way of displaying them. So it took me a long time to realize that is a source of creativity that people enjoy. So it was that kind of imposter syndrome where it was like, this isn't real art. Like if I'm not painting or drawing, and I'd only upload small little photos of like, if I was to do a drawing on the glass, like it would be the small little. So it took me a very long time to get the confidence to upload photos of a full art installation or a full window, because I myself didn't see it as real art. I don't know where that came from, but I think people's comments and realizing that okay,
people like seeing it.
I think people gives you confidence and feedback, and it made it a lot easier to not care as much. And then I think once you kind of get that standing behind you, that it is okay just to post whatever you want, and no one's going to care, because I do, and then you just do it, and
Sure. How about you, Pippa?
I think I felt pretty confident about my art because I had a fine art background, and I felt confident about the work, so I was pretty okay posting what I was making because I felt like I was good at what I started out doing a lot of drawing, just like traditional drawing, and I felt comfortable posting that because it wasn't a business at the time and I was just kind of messing around. And then I made like one enamel pin and I needed to sell it, so I figured I had to post it, and people bought it, and so that validation is like, it just builds like over time, and you just have to try things and see what happens. But the biggest thing that gave me the boost to being comfortable talking online and posting things online was actually, I streamed on Twitch for like 3 years, and that was a huge thing that got me over the hurdle of like, I'm still horrible on camera, but I'm better on camera and I can talk for days, and I know that people like watching me. I mean, if people will watch me draw for 3 hours, which is the slowest, most boring thing in the world, they will like happily watch a 1 minute sped up time lapse of my drawing. So yeah, that's definitely helped.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You both have mentioned like a few things that you have going on, and like Emma, you have a job and then you also create your own things. Pippa, you have like client work, your own work, many different things. How do you like communicate to your audience all of the things that you do when you're a multi-passionate, multi-hyphenate person with many things going on? How do you make it clear to your audience, like, what you do and what they can know you for and what they can buy from you?
I'm pretty careful about what I show people. So I don't love doing client work, so I don't show people my client work. And there's certain types of client work I don't want to do. And so if I end up doing a bit of that, I'd never show anybody that work ever. And it sounds ridiculous, but like, you get the work that you put out there. And so people will associate you with whatever you show them. And so if you show people work that you're not proud of, or work that, you did because you needed to make money rather than work because you were passionate about it, you're going to end up with more of that on your plate. So you got to be careful there. So I don't worry too much about separating. Like, my brand has a whole bunch of different vibes going on in it. I mash them all into one basket because I'm excited about all of them, and I just put that out there, and it seems to create like a Venn diagram where like my audience is in the middle, and like that works out fine. I think some people feel more strongly about having separate brands for separate vibes and things like that. I can't. That's a lot. And one social media account is enough. So I'm just like, people either accept all of me or they accept none of me. So I just throw it all out there, and I hope it's okay. And over time, it's been coming more clear how I can kind of build a narrative around that entire big picture that makes it all make sense together. But I think it's also fine to be messy. So, yeah.
Yeah. I love the, like, people can either accept all of me or none of me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, I'm a menace, and like, I can't hide. Yeah, I can't hide that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's not your vibe, then I'm not for you, and that's fine. Yeah, so we're good. Yeah.
You find the people that you are for.
Exactly. Other menaces.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would love to know about, we've just mentioned a few things around things that maybe you don't feel comfortable super on video, or like things like that. Can you share an example of where you feel like marketing sort of pushed you out of your comfort zone and helped you to grow? Like, an example of that.
How it pushed me out of my comfort zone. I think I'm always being pushed out of my comfort zone with social media. I find it still so embarrassing to upload, and I sit there and I'm like, okay, yeah, just ride with it. But it's, I think with the validation thing we were talking about before, when you upload something and someone says something nice to you, like, okay, I'm doing a good job, like, that is okay. It all makes it kind of worth it when you see a community being happy with what you're uploading and it bringing joy to someone's life, even if it's, like a 30-second video. So it's, that validation definitely helps a lot.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's so silly, but
it's hard because people are like, oh, you should, get a validation from yourself and not seek out external validation. I'm like, if you're an artist, I'm so sorry, but if you're getting all your validation from within, like, great for you. But I don't know a single artist that isn't like a complete egomaniac. I remember like when I was starting out, I would post stuff, and if I didn't get comments and likes, I'd get really sad and throw it away and like all this stuff. And I've built enough of an audience and enough confidence now that like I don't care anymore. But also generally I do all right off of what I post because I've been doing this for 8 years. But like the first 4 years were very like hit or miss with stuff, and it's just the way it is. You have to stick it out, and it can be really crushing. But I think the biggest thing that's pushed me out of my comfort zone is like learning to deal with attention that isn't necessarily positive when you do start to succeed. And you do start to make some bigger moves, and then continuing to keep sharing your work and marketing yourself in a positive way. And that's probably the hardest thing I've had to do as an artist, both with like other artists in the community doing the tall poppy thing, and also with, random commenters online saying completely uninformed things that were wrong, but really hateful and stuff like that, and you just have to learn to eat that for breakfast and not respond angrily and move on and keep being yourself. And that's definitely like, that was one of the biggest hurdles I had to overcome for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess like those moments, and we've just talked a little bit about measuring likes and things like that. How do you measure like quote unquote success for your business? Is it numbers? Is it how you feel? Like tell me what is success? How do you measure that for your
success for me? When I have jobs backed up, I guess, when I feel like I'm on the end of my tether, and when I'm coming home from my day job at Aiko and then going home and doing some more work for the next like 6 hours, and then going to it the next day, and then on my weekends I'm working. So is that good? I'm a workaholic and an active relaxer as well. So I do love the grind. I love the chaos of it. it's full on, but I love it, and that's kind of when I
burn out. Do you know her?
No, I don't know her.
Love this for you. I've been burned out for 3 years. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's when there's back-to-back jobs, I feel like that's when I'm like, okay, cool. I feel like I'm doing the right thing, or if I'm reaching the right amount of people that I need to be talking to, and getting the jobs that I would like, and saying no to the jobs that I don't particularly want to do or find too stressful to do. So that's
hell yeah. Yeah, that's good. I'm a basic bitch. I base it on sales, baby. I think a lot of people get hung up on follows and likes and comments, and that does not matter. I had a 2,000 following Instagram account for a very long time and was crushing it. So none of that is relevant. Reaching your audience and converting to sales is hard, but if you are doing it, that to me, like if I make something like a piece of art or a product that I'm proud of and I put it out there and people buy it, like that's the metric that makes me feel good. And if that's kind of superficial, I'm good with that. But also on the workload side of things, I feel most successful when I've got money in the bank and I don't have to work as hard, rather than having I have projects and events lined up for a long time. At the moment, I've had a fairly quiet winter, and I feel stressed, burned out, and freaked out. And the reason I have all that stacked up is because this year was really tough, and so I need all that work to kind of make up for a whole bunch of slow times. And what I'm hoping for at the end of that is that I have enough money in the bank I can kind of cruise for a bit, and that's when I feel successful.
Yeah.
I love to cruise.
We love to cruise. Yeah, I think there's some camps people don't worry about the numbers, worry about how you feel. Some people are the opposite. I think, in my opinion, I think you need a balance of both, and I think it is good to know where your business is at. And like you said, are people buying things? Are people liking this thing? Are they coming to buy it at the market? That's a good indicator of whether your business is working.
Yeah, and if I can't pay my bills, I'm not relaxed. So, regardless of how you feel about money, if the bills aren't paid and you can't be comfortable, then you're going to be stressed. So having the money matters. Yeah.
So are there any other metrics that you do measure as an artist when it comes to marketing or your business that you think are important or helpful in your business?
Conversion rate. Demographics. I've got some more information of that from my marketing company that I use, and that's been great. Learning what your audience looks like. Those kinds of numbers are kind of important. That kind of thing is neat. And that's only been because I get enough volume through my store now. I get a decent amount of data, and I can actually look at that stuff. Before that, I kind of tried to ignore all the numbers because none of them were big enough to be meaningful. Yeah.
I'm so I'm so cruising. Well, the funny thing is that since Aiko is my full-time job, I don't have to, art is my side hustle and is my luxury money. So if I do a big job, for a company, I can get that money and use it towards travel, towards, anything that's the more luxury side of what we want to do in our life. We can go out for dinner that weekend, or, it's, because, I'm still just so chill about the kind of money side of it at the moment. I haven't gone too much into that because my website, it's mainly just a place where I can give people to look at my, projects that I do. I do more project work rather than selling stock. So it's a different end for me. But, mainly just the project side is, if I have enough projects lined up, that's the kind of metric, I guess, of what is successful, what I'm doing. But yeah.
No, it's a good one.
I tend to lean more into that side of it, into project work, because it's less work when I have to ship out. I hate shipping.
Oh, yeah. See, I love doing orders. Yeah. It's the best part. I get to say thank you. It's nice. Yeah.
The cool thing about creative business is you can build it however you want it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I would love to know what is the most valuable piece of marketing advice that you have received from other creatives or, from the creative community.
Ooh, that's a good question. An answer, go for it. Can you play the Jeopardy? Best piece of advice. I think, the best thing I've ever heard from people is just don't worry about all your engagement numbers. Just don't worry about it. You can take notes and kind of see what's going on and what's doing well and learn from that. But if you're getting up in your head about some artist has more followers than you or that kind of nonsense, that's a bad place and you shouldn't hang out there. I think that's kind of the most important thing. And it's all well and good for me to say that or for someone else to say that, but when you're trying to grow your business and you're desperately trying to figure out what is going to grow your business, it's really easy to get hooked on those things. And it's not good for you.
100%.
So don't do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like looking at people's artwork and being like, they're doing more than me or they're selling more than me.
Yeah.
Like
Markets are bad for that.
Oh, yeah.
Market
And
prep.
Yeah. And seeing, people have more of a vision than you. Like it's, I'm still starting out artist, okay, I've been doing this for, doing the Aika Aika Widows for 10 years now. So I feel very comfortable in that area, but I've only just started into doing, digital prints and digital, commissions. And for the last maybe, I would say, a year and a half, I bought my first iPad. So I'm still very new to the game. So it's still trying to figure out even stuff that I like what is the stuff that I want to hang in my house or what, so it's that weird balance of trying to, take on a new
discipline.
And figuring out.
It's also like you can filter what you see online as well. Like a lot of people think, oh, I need to follow all the artists. I need to follow everyone I know who's an artist. I actually block and mute a lot of artists. And it's not because I don't like them. It's because when I look at their content, I feel stressed because they're doing so much more than me or their work is better than mine. And there's some work that's better than mine that inspires me greatly. And then there's some that makes me feel stressed and like I'm never going to get there. And I'm like, if that's not helping me, I'll put it away for later. And it's okay to do that with your online. You're not obligated to interact with anybody or do anything. And if stuff makes you feel bad, you can take a break for your own selfish reasons. And no one needs to know that you're doing that.
Yeah, for sure. Great pieces of advice. I'm just going to give you some rapid fire questions and then we will go into all of your questions because I've got some submissions. So, I would love to know what you think is the most overrated marketing strategy. Go.
Trends, memes. I think memes are important. They're great. But if you can't connect them back to like what you're actually freaking doing, it is pointless. And I see a lot of artists that just draw whatever, like Mudeng, cute, love it, great. If you drew a picture of Mudeng, that's okay. But like everybody drew a picture of bloody Mudeng and it was just like, who cares? Like at some point that's enough, and it's just that thing of like, and then people were like, I talked to some people who were like, oh, I feel like I have to draw a picture of that fucking hippo. And I was like, why? And they were like, oh, because she's popular and I need the views. And I'm just like, that's a bad reason. Yeah, and that's a hard one for me. I get really frustrated when I see artists just pandering to whatever meme is popular that week. Like, I do some of that for funsies as part of my marketing in between posts with a bit more substance, and people really like it, and it helps them connect with me as a person. But I also, do fun ones that I think are fun. Whereas, I'm not doing every single thing that's happening every single week. Yeah, and I think you don't need to do that stuff. And if you don't like doing any of it, then don't do it. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that hippo's cute. Draw a hippo. It's all good. But if you feel pressured to do it, that's not the right place to be. Yeah.
Well, when I first started doing illustration and wanting to sell my prints and stuff, I was like, I'm going to do all of the Instagram ads. I'm going to buy all of the things. I'm going to get so much, content from this. And no, it just failed so miserably. Probably because I didn't have a website. It just seemed like a scam, probably. Like DM me if you want a print and say, okay, we'll probably get to the website first and then, maybe get a little bit more professional first. But so maybe the Instagram will work now that I have a website and have it like a shop. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. It just miserably did not work for me. So now I'm just still bitter. I still haven't gotten the.
That is so fair.
I'm like $30 for 3 days. Yeah, right. I can't do that.
Yeah. No.
I hired one day.
I hired someone else to do it for me. I was like, I don't.
Okay, opposite to that, what do you think is the most underrated marketing strategy?
I think just chatting to your community. I think, it's, I think finding when you in a conversation or something, when they say, my sister's has a new baby room and they're looking for someone to do a mural. It's like, I can do a mural if you'd like, give them my details, or, I'm starting up a new company and I'm looking for some signage. It's like, I can do some signage. It's that, I think that's the beautiful thing about Wellington as well, is that everything is so connected and so everyone's so there for each other and supportive. So I think as well, that's a huge thing that people don't think about when it comes to those big projects. I would say, if not 100%, then 99.9 would be people that have known from a friend of a friend and gotten me work through there. So it's, yeah, I think that is such a beautiful part about our community in Wellington.
That's all I'll talk about. That's it. Mic drop.
Okay, what is one marketing task you wish you could delegate to someone else?
Video. Yeah, please come over, do it. I'll pay you. Yeah. No, shooting video is hard because I'm the only person in my studio. So even though my lovely marketing team, some of whom are here, do a lot of my stuff for me, I have to shoot my own video because I'm in my studio doing my things. But I find that shooting video takes me out of the part of the creative process I enjoy the most. I can't be present. I'm not fully engaged. I keep getting distracted by having to adjust the camera or like press stop or whatever, all those things. And so I'm never really fully in my head. And so I just feel like the work suffers. So I just don't do it until the last minute. But I'm finding better ways to do it and different things to shoot that are less stressful for me. And sometimes I am excited about shooting a speed draw. It just depends on the day. But yeah, shooting video is hard.
Comes and flows it. And
Yeah. Like, some days I'm like, yeah. And then other days, no, thank you. Yeah.
Emma, any?
The budgeting side of anything, I hate it. I'm just not wired for that budgeting side. My husband works in finance, so he does all of that. So he handles all the Henry stuff and all the taxes. Yeah, so good. Yeah, but it just really goes over my head. I hear someone talk about finance and I'm like, I just zone out. I tap out. I'm good to go on. Like I do not have anything to do with it. So I think, yeah, if he can see the numbers and see what's working and where we can invest our time into and stuff, like, do I invest more time into, print sales, or do I put more time into doing, the bigger companies where they'll pay a lot more than, the kind of work balance, so he'll look at those sides and be like, you should probably, but yeah, any of the taxing stuff, I hate that as well. I really hate it. I hate it so much. And filming as well. I like, editing videos and doing that. I think the filming really helps you. Like sometimes I'm not doing any videos on a big project, or if it's a big window, and then at the very end when it's all done, I'll sit out back and pretend to stuff, and I'm like, I feel like such a fake.
That's my least favorite is when I'm like, I have not shot the video and now I have to pretend that I did, and I'm like doing some BS.
Like in a Valentine's window, and I'm like painting something and there's no paint on the brush.
Exactly.
I'm like,
yes.
Why would I think that that's okay?
God,
I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's always like digital where I'm like, I'll just hide a layer that I already drew and then pretend to draw it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I think anytime I have to like fake anything, I feel frustrated. Yeah. But also I feel you on the finances. Yeah.
So everybody go to their videos and try and spot what they were faking.
You will find things.
Yeah. Okay, my last rapid fire. What is the best time-saving marketing hack or tip that you have?
I got it, which is you can post the same thing multiple times. That is
just
okay.
figured that out.
No, Instagram doesn't show your posts to anyone. Yeah. So you can just keep posting it and the different people maybe will see that post.
Very true.
Super true.
Very true.
Yeah, the algorithm is screwing you over, so you might as well just overload it with, take 5 different photos of the same thing you made and post one every week for 5 weeks. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's fine. Yeah, especially if you find new and interesting ways to represent the work, like anything like that. Yeah, reuse your content.
I only just started doing that.
It's great.
I can't believe I was looking through new content every single week. I'm like, what can I post? And I'm like, something from 5 years ago.
Yeah. This is why I love doing photo shoots now. I'm like, I end up with like 200 photos. And if I'm like having a down week, I'm just like, we guess we could just pull something from the shoot. It's fine. Yeah. And then people buy the thing and I'm like, great. Love it. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Those were great rapid fire answers. Thank you very much. We have some questions from the audience now, so I'm going to ask some of these. Okay, let me go through some of these. Do you ever doubt making your art into a career is the right direction? If so, how do you deal with that doubt?
Hell yeah. I'm not good at anything else, so I don't have a choice in the matter, is kind of how I feel about it. I tried to have a regular job and it wasn't for me. Like I said, a menace. I'm really neurodivergent and ADHD is hard and I don't like regular work hours and I don't like authority and I don't like other people. So, I do. We're coworkers. So art was always the thing I could do that I was good at. I love it. It makes me happy. Capitalism definitely ruins that on a regular basis. but there are still lots of moments of joy. So I definitely have lots of times where I look on Seek.com for jobs and then right back out again, and question it all the time. And I think that's healthy. Like, actually, like, yeah, it's living under capitalism's a bummer. And it will take your art from you and make it a job, and a really hard job, and maybe a job that doesn't even pay your bills. And if you're not willing to fight through that as a full-time thing, you don't have to do art full-time. And doing art as a hobby is so legitimate. So,
or part-time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can do it part-time, you can do it as a hobby, you can do it with your friends as, like, you know, a collaborative thing where there's, you know, it's just because you want to get together and do something, it's fine. All of those are legitimate, real art, and it doesn't matter if you make it a job or not. You're not better than anybody else if art is your full-time job. So
I'm completely opposite. I love going to my 9 to 5. I mean, I'm very lucky that I have a place that is filled with lots of that. Yeah,
I would love that job too. Yeah.
It's very fun, and like being part of a, you know, local business, and they look after me so well, and it's a very fun environment to work in. There's lots of bright colours and fun, you know, stock coming in. So that side of it, I do love. I love that. If I'm not feeling it that week, if I don't feel like creating that week, I can just go to work, price some stock, organize, like clean, mop. Like, I love it so much. And I think that really grounds me. I think, yeah, I have that chaotic side to me where if I don't have that grounding, I do go a little bit, haywire. I did drop a few days to try get into more art, and I just couldn't do it because my brain is just not.
I tell people to test it out. I'm like, try it out. Don't fully commit.
But I had to go, and my art is, I mean, like part-time. I wouldn't say hobby, but
side hustle is a perfectly legitimate thing to say.
Yeah. But I feel like it's not, I don't think I could do it as a full-time thing. I think that's very overwhelming. Yeah, it is a lot of pressure. And I think, when you don't feel like doing it, I don't have that to rely on, and I can have my 9 to 5 that I can just go to work and not have to.
Well, that's why I'm so obsessed with sales, is because I need that money. Like, I don't have a backup. And so
it's harder.
And also, if I burn out, I run my own, I'm a sole trader. Or I'm not anymore, I'm an LLC. But regardless, no one's paying me to take time off. It's me. So if I don't have that money, I can't take a break. Yeah. And that's really stressful. So, I always tell people to try out art as a job before you decide to go full time. If you see someone on TikTok bragging about how they're full time and making $1 million, making, garbage t-shirts, don't worry about them. That might not be real. Try it out for yourself. You're your own person, and don't quit your day job until you feel like that's really what you want to do.
Yeah. We have a couple of market questions. So one person would love to know can you tell us more about your favorite market you've participated in and what made it memorable? And someone else asked tips for markets. I'm doing my first on Friday night.
Oh, yes!
Celebratory, whoever that is. But,
congrats!
Tell us. Yay! That's so exciting. So tell us about, your favorite markets and any tips that you have for markets.
Yeah. It's a lot to deal with. I did my first Martin Borough, not last year, but last year before, by myself, and like getting up at 4 a.m, having to travel over from Tawa to over in Martin Borough. That was so hard. I think I had a mental breakdown on the way back, and I had like a 3-hour nap at the bottom of Rumataka Hill. So it was just, it's a lot. But I had my lovely mum come with me this year. So when you have someone to help you, it's really nice. And we stayed over there as well, which was a lot.
Oh, that's nice.
Really.
I go bougie for markets out of town. Anytime I'm out of town, I'm in a hotel. Totally. I'm eating right. I'm doing everything right. I'm in bed by 9 o'clock.
They're good. They're a good payback, and they're, it's with those bigger markets. Sometimes you can go to a little market, and it is really nice to chat to people and get to know the community and stuff. But sometimes you'll walk away with like $50, and you're like,
yeah.
This is my day off right now. Yeah. So I've just finished a shift the day before, and so they're always on Sunday, and so it's like, you take a day off Saturday, and so sometimes they can be really hard to decipher when to go to the good,
it's fortune telling.
Like, it really is. They're so hit and miss, but it's
you do get a sense for it over time, though.
You do,
start sniffing out, like based on the branding and like who else is going.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't think that one, or like definitely that one. Yeah. My favorite's Big Gay Out. I love Big Gay Out in Auckland. That's my favorite. I go every year because that's my community. And I get I'm bi, and I only came out quite late in life. And so I'm in a heteronormative relationship, and everything looks very hetero. And then I go to Big Gay Out and I get to be gay for a day, and it's really great. So that's nice, and I get to connect with my community, and I get to wear a bikini top and shorts, and that's a great outfit for selling your stuff and being outside, and it's hot and it's nice, and it's way better than being in an auditorium under fluorescent lights for 3 days straight at Armageddon. Which is a great thing to do as well. You make lots of money at events that are really big and 3 days long, but they're also a marathon and they're so tiring. So I like the ones that, again, align with my vibe, Rat Bag Market.
Oh, yeah.
I run Rat Bag Market in Wellington, and that's also a fave, but that's because I run it, so I'm biased.
It's on this weekend if you are looking for something to do. Okay, incredible. What would you say, let me find this question I was going to ask you. What have you found to be the best ways to share your work in person? So maybe at markets, but at other things. Yeah. What are some in-person marketing things you've tried?
Phone. That's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. They're like, oh, do you have any of your work? You're like, show them your Instagram. Sure. It's so embarrassing, but it's the best way to kind of get that instant. Yeah, Instagram. Instagram's the best way, just to show them.
If you're already in that networking conversation, you might as well just show them your phone. Yeah, exactly. Some people I know put their art on the back of their business cards. That's really cute. You can just hand them one of your things and it's got a picture of what you do on it. So good. At markets, I've found there's so much emphasis on making your display really fancy. And I think you can show people more of your work if you worry less about fancy and more about just actually making it visible. Everybody has these beautiful videos where they show how beautiful and cute all the custom cut things for their whole stall are, and it looks great. But a lot of the time I find if I just put my t-shirts on stands in a row, they sell better than if I try to make some sort of cute display out of it. Yeah, there's especially because you have limited space. Yeah, if you have more space, like a full shop window, then you're playing with something. Yeah, it's way better. But at a market, you're just someone's cruising by for 1 second and you've got this big of a table and you're just please. Yeah, so just make sure people can see your stuff. It sounds really obvious.
Are there any particular in-person things other than markets that you have found helpful?
Events like this are probably good. There's not a lot of things like this around for artists. I think network is really important. I don't know. I do client work for a lot of hackers, and so I go to information security conferences. I usually do the art for the conferences.
Oh, huh? Really?
Yeah. My partner's a hacker. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So, Yeah, hackers love t-shirts and stickers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it turns out.
I'll note that.
Yeah. So it turns out all hackers want goth t-shirts and stickers.
Okay,
Works. So I want
to get in the industry.
Yeah, I was let me in. Yeah. Yeah, so I just go and I'm here's stickers. I give people stickers at events that I go to and just give people some cheap stuff. It's great. It's fine. They love it. You put your name on it. They hit you up. They're I run a corporate hacker business. Do you want $5,000? And that was from giving them a sticker, or having a drink with them in a bar. And it's really just show up to places where people are that you want to work with and try to work up the courage to talk to them. It helps if your partner already works in the industry. So that makes things a lot easier. And that's not really fair. But you can also be brave and take a shot at things. Yeah, shoot your shot.
Being in a gift shop, I'm constantly meeting new business people that sell our stock with us, and it's I say if you ever need a mural done or some design work, it's always that using what you have in your area.
Them. Yeah. Just remind them, be I'm an artist, I do cool shit. Yeah. And a lot of artists are very shy and don't want to say any of that, and it gets easier. So you just got to try. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree that I've been to a bunch of events and gone to different countries even for conferences, but made money back from those
I just
things.
did that. It was
People
great.
Just did the same.
Life validation. Yeah.
From meeting people, getting clients, getting customers, it can be a worthwhile thing to try for sure. Okay, let's do some more quickly in the last 5 minutes. What is the thing but this is a deep one. What is the thing that drives you each day, specifically the shitty hard days?
It's spite. Yeah. It is spite. I live on the skulls of my enemies. People tell you can't do stuff or that you shouldn't do stuff or you're not good at stuff. And that makes me really, really, really motivated to prove them wrong. Probably neurodivergence again. But yeah, I don't like it when people tell me I can't do something. So when people say that, I tend to be like, well, I'm going to prove it. So I just go and do it. And I usually try to do it 10 times better than I thought I could. So I live on spite. It's really easy to get on the negative side of spite, but I think it's a really positive motivating force for me. So
it's a good way to turn the negativity.
Yeah,
into,
bad things happen to you, and you can just be like, well, I'm not going to let this stop me, and that's spite, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice, yeah. I don't have something that's so exciting. Yeah, but yeah. What gets me out of bed and makes me... Yeah, I think I really love my work at ICO, especially with window displays and stuff. I think seeing people's reaction when they walk past or take photos, I think that really gets me out of bed, and knowing that what I do makes a slight difference in like the people's lives when they can walk past. And yeah, I think that really helps. And then, yeah, that connection is really super cool. Yeah, with my community. It's been a long time since I've been at ICO. You know, it's really rewarding, and I think that's what gets me. Oh my God, my answer sounds so lame.
I was just gonna say mine was so sarcastic and mean. I also like.
Yeah, the spectrum.
I feel like I should say that I'm also really motivated by nature, and I love nature, and I get to draw nature a lot of the time. Yeah, it's too late. I can't change it. I'm just saying I'm also a nice person and I like plants. I'm just saying there's other stuff. Yeah, it's just sometimes when things are really shitty and hard, which is specifically what they asked about. It's the thing of like, I am not quitting today. That's spite. So, yeah.
Okay, my last question, I think, will be a nice one. Well, not mine, one of yours. What are the reflections you have had and the biggest learnings in your journey to making art or creating your paid job? So basically, it was your biggest lesson, biggest reflection.
Both of us just absolutely stumped.
I'm cooking. Yeah, let her cook. I'm thinking like, I think it's the thing of like, you have to find a balance between what you make for them and what you make for you if you want to make this a business. And that's really, really, really tough, because if you don't feel passionate about what you're making, it's not going to be sustainable. You'll burn out. So you have to find a way to, like, sometimes some people do one for them and then one for you. So you make a design that you know will appeal to people, and then you make one that you know you like, and you see how they go. Over time, I've done a lot of that, and I feel like when I really get too far out into the making them for them, I make stuff nobody wants. And I feel like when I find a happy Venn diagram medium in between the two circles is where things are really good. But also a lot of the time when I make stuff that I'm excited about, other people are excited about it too. So, and that's the security thing as well. Like, feeling secure enough to share what you're excited about with everybody else is often harder than making something you think will have mass appeal. And I think if you can do the thing for you, you'll be happier and they'll be happier. Yeah.
I still struggle with it. I mean, when you get into lots of client work, when they're asking you what they, when they're telling you what they want, and you try to put your spin on it, and they're like, no, and you're like, okay, cool, my stuff sucks, so it's that hard balance of, and I haven't made another print in a very long time, like one of my own prints that I sell on my website and stuff. I haven't done that in a very long time. So I think it's that hard.
Sometimes you got to pay your bills too. Like, you
truly
can't do your own stuff for a while. Yeah.
And like in seasons it comes and in seasons it goes.
That's right.
It's and during market times I sometimes get a little bit more inspired to do new art and new things. But for the moment, it's really hard to find that balance, and I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah, I think that's a constant thing for everybody all the time. Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions we have time for right now, but I just want to thank both of you for sharing your experience and your time.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed learning from Pippa and Emma and hearing all about how they market their creative business. As you might have heard us mention a couple of times, community can be a huge part of marketing your creative business. So if you want to join a community of creatives who are all working to turn the thing they love the most into the thing people know and love them for, then you want to join the Brand Your Passion Collective. This is the membership for artists, makers and creators who want to build a creatively fulfilling, community building, financially stable creative business through the power of branding and do it together. Within the collective, we are working to craft you a custom brand strategy that's going to bring in floods of raving fans turned customers to your creative business. And when you do that, you're going to unlock more trainings on brand identity design, marketing, and so much more. Plus, you get to ask questions that go into this podcast and get access to the private podcast, Branding Holly's Passions too. So if you want to do all of that, come and join us. You can join us right now, quarterly or annually, and it works out to $12 a month. So come and check it out at brandyourpassion.co. Hit the link in the description in the show notes and come and join us in the collective. Okay, thanks so much for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, keep creating. Bye.